Okay, hello, welcome to the weather update. It's about 8 o'clock on the 9th of February, 2021, and I'm pretty exhausted from all that hiking yesterday. It was really very hard walking on the snow. I don't know if I would do that again because my legs, just. But anyway, enough about that. I'm not here to complain about that. It was beautiful, but you do pay a price for it. So, let's take a look at the satellite. We're starting with that, and you'll see that we had kind of a cloudy, gloomy day, some mist, some drizzle, some light rain in the morning. We didn't really get a little bit of light icing here, but not really very much going on. All the accumulations were north of the city. Now we're starting to clear the clouds out for now. Let's take a look at the latest snow and ice reports from the area. So in Connecticut, they got like 0.01 of ice, very little bit. New Haven, 0.06. Very little. It's very light icing. As far as snow goes, it was all north of the city. Bethel, 1.2 inches. New Canaan, 1.1. Hampton, 1.2. Oakland and Bergen County, 1 inch. Upstate, you have to go a little further upstate for the higher amounts, like in Orange County, where they got like 4 inches. Some areas got 4 inches, some areas got closer to like a couple of inches up there. In Putnam County as well, Rockland County, they all got a couple of inches. Not a very small snowfall for that area. So, looking at the current situation that we have going on, we have this high trying to build down. Here's your stalled front down here. Looking at the weather map here, and you'll see here that they're going to have some freezing rain in the lower Midwest, so around Arkansas, Missouri, southern Illinois, Indiana. They're going to have to worry about freezing rain. When we look at the weather and hazards map, you'll see that the warnings are out for freezing rain. You got some winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories out as well for some of these areas here. This system will be going to the south of us. And then these wind chill advisories, because they're going to have some extreme cold here in the north, in the Dakotas, Minnesota, Wisconsin. That's going to be coming as well. Let's go take a look at current conditions around outside right now. Temperatures are around 30 degrees generally, so we're around 30 degrees. A northerly breeze, but let's take a look and see what the lows were this morning, because we had some cold readings last night due to the radiational cooling. So let's take a look at the minimum temperatures tonight, and let's see what we have here. So, yeah, look at that. 7 degrees at West Hampton. It got down to 7 degrees in a lot of areas, even Nassau County. 12 at Farmingdale. It got down to 15 at Carl Place. So in Mineola, it got pretty cold. The Brookvilles, Upper Brookville there, 11 inches. 11 degrees. So everybody got to the teens pretty much. 15 degrees there in looks like North Babylon. So everybody got well down to the teens. Let's look at Islip as well. Islip got down to 12. Shirley got down to 12. Ridge got down to 10. And again, 7 degrees. 7 degrees at West Hampton is the coldest one I could find on Long Island. Not surprisingly, that is a naturally cold spot. But still, you had some interior areas on the South Fork that also got pretty cold. But you'll see, right on the water, it didn't get quite as cold at 23 because, again, the ocean temperature. When you're by the water, it makes it warmer. And then the city also didn't get that cold. They only got down to 28 in Central Park. So that's the difference. And the city really holds in the heat with that urban heat island effect that you have to deal with there in the city. Well, some areas of Staten Island got kind of chilly there, 18. So, again, Staten Island being a little less developed, it radiates a little more. West Hampton was even colder than a lot of areas north of the city, too, as well. Let's see how New Jersey got, because there's other radiational cooling areas as well there. 10 degrees in the Pine Barrens west of Toms River. So they got down to the teens, too. It was a pretty chilly night last night. So let's go take a look and see what we have coming our way here as we deal with this stalled front situation here that we have going off to the south. And we're going to first start looking at the upper air on the GFS and seeing, you can see that's the setup for a stalled front right there. So it's off to the south. And we're going to be dealing with that stall front right at the end of the weekend, and then the GFS just wants to keep that ridge there. This is the problem with the GFS. We never get the cold air. We're stuck in the ridge, and we never get into the cold air. Pretty much it just never arrives. So we'd have to wait maybe until now February 24th for another batch of cold air to come down. It just wants to take it more into the west. This is an issue with the GFS. And if we go look at the European model, let's see. The European's been a little better with that. Let's see. European now looking more like the GFS now too as well. And that cold air just isn't diving as far south either, I notice. It was originally supposed to dive much further south. We were supposed to have a much bigger trough. So the models continue to dial this back, this cold air that's coming, which is really disappointing, of course, as you know. So let's go look at the surface map on the GFS. So you see you have this high here, but this front just gets hung up. Here comes this next system. This is the next system that we're going to have to deal with for Thursday. It looks like most of it stays to the south, and whatever snow falls should be fairly on the light side. But you can see with that front just hanging out there. And here comes another low. This one keeps shifting further and further to the east. So we're going to have to watch this event, possibly for Valentine's Day. Right now it looks like rain, but it could be a snow event on Valentine's Day. And then this high tries to build in, but nope. It doesn't get here because, again, you got the ridge here now. So the front stalls out. We don't really get it. And then the next storm comes, and that could be a big snowstorm for February 16th there. Again, this is ways in the long range. But you can see the problem that we have here. Stall front syndrome. Yeah, it really sucks. So let's go look at the temperature anomaly, and you'll see the results of that when we look at our temperature anomaly chart here on the GFS, and you'll see all the cold air is just going, look at that, right down to Texas, and it just goes straight down. It's very unusual to see this type of thing. So I'm going to draw this out here so you get an idea of what the hell's going on. Let me get my thing here. Paint right here. All right. So troughs like this. This is really weird. All right, that's not normal at all. All right. So the trough goes like this. The cold air goes straight down to Texas, where it will be colder in Texas than it will be in our area. So now if you look at this, this is Valentine's Day. All right. So if we look at the actual air temperatures, it will actually be colder in Dallas and in parts of Texas, maybe even colder in Houston than in New York. That is so screwed up. That cold air was supposed to come toward us, and this stupid ridge, you'd see it right here. I mean, and we just never get it. It all gets deflected. We don't get it. All right, it's just really annoying, and you gotta have to wait, and the GFS just keeps doing this carrot and the stick thing. It's really, really annoying. It's really, really annoying. I wonder if that cold air makes it to Flagstaff at all, or no? It's so narrow. I don't even think it makes it to Flagstaff because Arizona's over here, so it doesn't even make it there. It'll make it to parts of New Mexico, Denver, but it won't even. It's just a narrow batch of cold air, really intense, but very narrow batch of cold air. So yeah, it really sucks. That's all I gotta say, and I'm pretty down about it. You know. We'll also look at the jet stream, so this will show you the problem that we have here. All right, we're backing up the jet stream here. So right now we got kind of that zonal flow with the stall front, and then when the trough does come down, you see, look at how narrow it is. Look at how narrow that is. It's not a broad trough, and here comes a trough, but you see, it just can't get into it. It keeps diving down in the Midwest to the west, and we just get screwed, you know. Yeah, we may get some more snow. I don't need another foot of snow. I want some bitter cold, you know. But, you know, that's all because of the warmer than normal Atlantic temperatures that this happens. So let's go take a closer look at our area on this. And we'll, of course, put this back to the surface. And we'll go ahead and look at our next systems that we have to deal with. Because it's just one after another after another. Here comes the weak system here. It goes off to the south on Thursday. Not going to be much of anything with this. Barely an accumulation. There's actually two. There's one here, and then another one forms on Friday. And then another one. This is the next one for Valentine's Day that we'll have to watch here. Right now it says rain, but that could change. It's just one after another. There's no big high pressure building in. And then another dam system for Tuesday. It's just one after another, after another, after another. It's not normal to have just this kind of setup, but this is because of stall front syndrome. That's why we're not getting into the cold air. That's why we're not getting into the clear sky. And that's why we've got to constantly deal with clouds and precipitation all the time. I like it dry, all right? So let's go look at what's going to happen with the next system here. So we're going to look at we'll first look at the total snowfall map here. I'm sorry to rant. I really am. I'm just, I'm sick of being disappointed with the cold air. I really am. So you can see not really much snowfall. This shows up the next system here. This is the Valentine's Day system. Again, not much, mostly to the north and west, but it's that Tuesday system. Now, if that would have hit, then we could get another foot, 8 to 12 inches if that would have hit. That's a week from today. All right. So, if that would have hit. And again, this front was supposed to make it offshore. I'm just very, very annoyed about it. Let's go to the NAM. This is the 18Z NAM, and we'll go ahead and look at the NAM for the next system that's going to come through. And you can see not really much for our area, barely anything, but if you're really in the southern tip of New Jersey, you could see maybe 3 or 4 inches. This is more of a storm for the mid-Atlantic, Delmarva, Washington, D.C. That is the storm that we have. Those are the storms. And the next 2 storms will be going that way, all right? So, again, I'm not too concerned right now in the immediate forecast for any big accumulating snow or any really plowable accumulating snow. Let's go into tomorrow here at the GFS. You'll see the temperatures. We drop, possibly getting into the teens tonight, depending on radiation cooling tomorrow. I mean, we are below normal. We're, again, around 30 degrees, which is about 7 or 8 degrees below normal. But it's not Arctic cold. And then here we go for Thursday, similar deal. You can see the stall front right here, hanging around. Here comes Friday. And you still see the damn stall front. There it is, a little bubble right there. Won't move out of the way. Here's Friday. Upper 20s, all right? Same deal for Saturday. Same deal for Sunday. Here comes the storm. And some cold air tries to get in here. But again, the front gets hung up. Doesn't move through. So we just stuck in it, Meanwhile, they're enjoying some nice, clear, bitter cold weather off to the west. That we're not going to get into. Here's Tuesday. Here comes the next storm, all right? And then when that storm leaves, maybe that'll, nope, still highs in the around 30 degrees, upper 20s to around 30, which is below normal, but it's not Arctic cold. And we just, it never gets here. It just never gets here. Only toward the end of the period that we might have another chance at it. But, we just never get that bitter cold. It's really annoying. We're supposed to get it. This is not normal. There's such volatility in the models like this. That is climate change for you. This is what climate change does. It makes weather forecasting very hard because the models don't factor in all the changes, how different things are. So it's hard for them. When things move along, they don't know what to do. And this is the result you see. So, of course, we'll look at the skies, and I'm sure we're going to deal with plenty of clouds. Here's tomorrow. Clouds. Thursday, clouds. Friday, clouds. Saturday, clouds. Sunday, clouds. Monday, clouds too, because the front stall's out. Clouds Tuesday, Wednesday. Pretty much, it's going to be junky until further notice. We may have to wait till Saturday, February 20th, before we can get some clear skies around here again. It's ridiculous. Luckily, we had some yesterday. That's why I did that exhausting hike in the snow, because who knows when the next clear day is going to be. This is not normal. We're not supposed to have so many cloudy days in a row. This is not normal. Highly abnormal. It's all due to climate change. And, you're not supposed to have so many endless cloudy days. Fronts are supposed to move through. There's supposed to be a progressive thing going on. But instead, you have a front that's just going to sit off to our south for 7 to 10 days. This is not normal. Sorry, it's like a little weather rant here, but it's not normal. Let's go ahead and look at the NAM. So this is the NAM. So you can see here, tries to get some sun tomorrow, but I don't think it'll be a clear day. We may have some clouds around. But at least there'll be some sun, because after that, we're stuck in the clouds on Thursday. Here's Thursday. And I only have out till late Thursday night. We can look at the RGEM model as well, which will show the same damn story here. So, yeah, you can see clouds tomorrow. Thursday, clouds. If you go up northern New England, you'll have a clear day on Thursday. And then Saturday, same deal again. You can see the front just gets hung up. It just gets hung up. It's not normal. This is not normal what we're seeing. So, again, to have such volatility, to have literally every couple of days, the model shows something different. Is not something that we're supposed to see, and that's due to the warmer than normal ocean temperatures. Let's take a look at windy.com, and this is the European model, and we'll take a look. I'll put this on the temperatures, and we'll see if this has any hope of bringing the colder, because I know yesterday it did. We'll have to move this along here. Probably not. All right, seems like it wants a colder day on Friday. That's 4 p.m. All right, so it does have a colder day. This is the European, but it'll probably be cloudy, I bet, judging with that northeast wind. Saturday, Sunday. Look at this. I mean, look at how screwed up this is. It's 17 in Lubbock. It's colder in Lubbock than it is in New York. That is really not normal at all right? You can see here comes the cold air. It's Monday. Let's move this along to Monday. But it all stays in the west. That. 13 in Lubbock, while it's 25 in, see, there's a north wind, but I got to look at the cloud cover map because I have a feeling, we're just looking at temperatures. You can see here comes the next storm already. It's just one damn storm after another. It's the problem. The cold air's locked up in the west, and we can't get it in here. This is the problem. It's a pain. I thought we were finally going to get a deep freeze. We finally were going to get a deep freeze. And I think we've all had enough snow already. I really don't want to get any more. So we're going to look at the cloud map here, and this is the European here. So this is tomorrow. It's the European. Might try to give us some clear sky tomorrow. I doubt it. But again, as you go and move it along here, this is what happens. Friday, see, this front we don't clear out. You see what happens here. It's Friday, Saturday. Try to clear it out over Long Island. Maybe we'll get lucky. But you can see the cirrus shield right off to the south there. Stall front syndrome. All right. Here's Sunday. Again, same deal. Stall front syndrome. If you're in St. Paul, though, you have a nice clear day, and it's one below. It's a little too cold, but this is Monday. This is the European model. So the European model seems to think, I think it was Monday. That was the day that was going to be really cold. So was that the day? Yeah, it was the day that maybe we can get into some nice air on Monday. Maybe. I mean, we were supposed to have highs only in the teens. What happened to that day? Here comes the next damn storm system. All right, enough already. I want a nice big broad high pressure and just some dry weather for a change. We've been very much above normal with precipitation this month. So let's take a look and see how screwed up things are. We're gonna go to climate. So with just under 20, Central Park has recorded. Yeah, look at this. If you go to the Twitter here. Central Park, snowiest first week of February on record. All right. Meanwhile, we went to January with no snow. That's not normal. You're not supposed to have that. That's not supposed to happen. So this is, you can see, here we go. Snowiest total snowfall. So right now we're at the snowiest and one of the wettest Februarys on record. So let's go take a look at the climate report. Yes, let's do that. Local past weather, and we'll look at Central Park, and we'll look at the preliminary monthly just for this month. We already looked at January, though I might want to look at it again because we they didn't have the final one. We just looked at the so let's see so far. We have preliminary precipitation. We are 1.5 inches above normal for precipitation already. All right. Total for the month is 2.45 of liquid equivalent. All right. Snow total for this month 21.9 inches already in Central Park. Already. Meanwhile, in January, we had no snow. All right. Departure from normal, we're only about 0.5 degree below normal so far. So it hasn't really been all that cold, even though not really that cold. All right. So that's pretty crazy right there that you have that. All right, so let's go take a look at the monthly weather summary for Central Park, and we're going to look at the most recent one, and hopefully they have. No, they still never did They never did the one for January. That's unbelievable. All right, I guess we're stuck with the preliminaries then, and we already did that in another video. So let's take a look at the islip one here. Most recent. All right, islip preliminary data. Right, they're not as far above normal. They're 1/4 inch above normal for precipitation. Total precipitation 1.1 months. But if all these storms hit, we're going to be well above normal. We might have the wettest February on record. Well, even if it's snowy, we're counting liquid equivalent. All right, snowfall for the month at islip was 18.2 inches. So again, we're already above normal with snowfall. All right, temperature departure pretty much at normal, 0.1 negative. So we're not below normal for this month. That's the problem. We are still above normal with temperature. Well, we're not above normal. We're at normal, but bottom line is we're always above normal. We can go for 10 months above normal, but if you want 1 month that's below normal, you can string a couple of months below normal. Forget it. Not going to happen. You're going to need a volcano to erupt somewhere on this planet, a major volcano. We need something like Mount Tambora or something that's really going to cool this planet down. All right. So last part of this, I'm going to do the puzzle here that we're going to go to earthnullschool.net. So let's do that. earthnullschool.net, and we're going to again look at the departure from normal of the ocean. So we're going to go ahead here and look at sea surface temperature anomaly. Now, what do you see? A lot of bright red off the East Coast, and a lot of bright red in the Pacific too. In fact, most of the planet is covered with bright red. There's some blue areas, but most of it is bright red, and that means, or red or above, everything is above normal. The oceans being warmer than normal is what's driving all these changes in the weather right now. And you can see off the East Coast, we still have this these are anomalies. We're 6 degrees Fahrenheit above normal, 50 to 100 miles, or maybe 100 miles southeast off Long Island, all right? You go off the coast of Newfoundland and Nova Scotia, they're 10 degrees above normal, 12 degrees above normal. So the water is way warmer than it's supposed to be in much of the world right now, and that's very concerning. Let's go look at the actual sea surface temperatures. The actual sea surface temperature in this area, 48 off Nova Scotia. That's warm. And then we look at the sea surface temperature off 51 still. Look at this. Still getting 51 degrees in this spot right here off Long Island. So none of this is normal. This is very concerning. People say, oh, there's snow on the ground. No, you've got to look at the big picture. The fact is we are warmer than we're supposed to be. We're seeing volatile changes with the models that we're not supposed to see. And all this warm water is what's driving this ridge here that likes to hang out off the East Coast. So that's a big problem. So not only do we need a big volcano to erupt or a simulation of a big volcano so you can reduce the solar radiation reaching the planet, we're going to have to put pumps in the ocean to cool these oceans down. All right? We need to get started with it. I'm glad President Biden has made climate change one of his main priorities. This is something we need to really do. We got to start cooling this planet down. And that is something very, very serious. So let me... NSIDC. I think it's NSIDC. Yes. National Snow and Ice Data Center. So this is the last thing that I'm going to do today that we haven't done in a while. And looking at this, we haven't done this in a while, actually. Looking at the ice situation in the Arctic. So this is, again, stuff you don't get on the regular weather report that I'm going to talk about. Arctic sea ice extent for January tracked below average, with the monthly average finishing 6th lowest in the satellite record. Air temperatures are well above average on the Atlantic side of the Arctic. Air temperatures are strongly below average over Siberia. So a warm spell hit the Canadian Arctic, and rain fell on snow over Nunavut in Canada. Wow, rain in Nunavut. That is crazy. That's like way up in the Arctic Circle. That is crazy. 2020 tied for the highest annual global temperature with 2016. So this is your map here. This is what the map looks like here. If we look at this map, you will see here that this is where the ice edge is supposed to be. So obviously with these warm waters here, you're not going to see that. Great Lakes have not frozen over. They used to freeze over all the time, but we don't see that anymore. And so, yes, there's bitter cold around, but it's not. It's confined to small areas instead of being over large areas. Here's a map of the sea ice extent. So you see here, we're scraping at the bottom here. So it's all very concerning. And all these things, and the reason I bring this up is this is why the models have the volatility that they do. This is why they have the volatility that they do, because all the data that's been changing, they have to keep up with updating these models, and they can't keep up with it. And so that's why we see the changes. The models thought, we're going to get this big Arctic air, but then the models saw things are warmer than they're supposed to be over here, and now we're going to hold the Arctic air back. Now it's only going to be confined to this area here in the Midwest. But you have this abnormal jet stream pattern that drives these weird situations. And again, what is with these little narrow troughs? You see this all the time. You don't see big broad troughs anymore. All right? The models were originally predicting a big broad trough, and now look at this. Look at what we got here. So you got this narrow trough that's literally maybe 1,000 miles. I mean, this is messed up. So this is what's going to drive it being colder in Lubbock, Texas, because the cold air is coming down here. And we'll put this in blue. Cold air coming right down here, but it's trapped in this little bubble right here. All right? So it's not making it to the East Coast. And instead, you got the ocean on fire over here with the ridge, and it's just pumping the heat up, and it's not letting the cold air come in. And it's making this jet stream all screwed up when it's not supposed to be. Used to have big, broad troughs. So I'm going to erase this, actually. Let's see if I can go back and look at an old run here. Actually, we're going to go back to Valentine's Day. Let's do that. All right, so you can get an idea. I can actually go way back on the GFS. Let's go to 18Z Friday. Look what we were supposed to get. Look at that big, broad trough that was supposed to occur. All right? Or in fact, I might even want to go back even more than that. I think we need to go back even more than that. Let's go back to Thursday, 18Z. Look what we were supposed to get. This is what we were supposed to get. See that big, broad trough that's coming through the east there? That was going to bring us our nice, really cold, bitter, cold Arctic air. All right? That's what we were supposed to get. There's actually a polar vortex right here. All right? But now when we go to the latest run, this is Saturday, February 13th here, we go to the latest run, gone. So, and this is the polar vortex over here, but you can see it doesn't really come down. Instead, you get these little teeny bitty troughs that come through, and like I said, this is not normal. Let's go look at the European. It's the same thing because the jets, we don't have this data for the European side. So you get the idea. All right, I know I've been going here for almost a half an hour on this weather update, but maybe a half an hour. I don't know. It seems like it has. But anyway, really serious issues here with the weather. We're still seeing climate change. Even though some of you in the United States are going to be dealing with bitter cold, because that bitter cold is confined to such a small area instead of spreading out like it's supposed to. That's all due to climate change. And it really sucks because it means that, again, we're not going to have a really good deep freeze, which means another winter full of ticks, another summer full of ticks, more southern pine beetle attacks on our pines, and more other invasive insects. This is why we need to act on climate change. We need to do whatever it takes, no matter what the cost, to start cooling this planet down, all right? We got to cut down the fossil fuel emissions. We got to actively mitigate climate change by reducing the sunlight, reducing the surface. So you got to simulate a volcanic eruption. I mean, a lot of these volcanoes are in the middle of nowhere, so if you have them erupt, it won't be the end of the world, all right? It won't be, you don't want to see Yellowstone obviously erupt, but, some island in the middle of the Pacific where hardly anyone lives, get that volcano to erupt, put the sulfur into the atmosphere, upper atmosphere, like Tambora. We can Google up Mount Tambora. Let's do that. Mount Tambora. Let's do that. Show you what I mean. All right. Mount Tambora, right? So this is the 1815 eruption. All right. And this was one of the big eruptions here that cooled the planet down. All right. And it caused the year without a summer. It caused a lot of it had global effects, all right? We saw that after Mount Pinatubo on a smaller scale. So this is what we're going to have to do. We need that sulfate aerosol veil, all right? That will help reduce the sunlight. It will cool the planet down. And we got a good 5 years of cooling out of that. So we need to really start figuring out how to either get these volcanoes to erupt or simulate it ourselves, and also cool the oceans down with ocean pumps. You can take a look at ocean pumps here. Ocean pumps cooling. All right, so we can do ocean pumps cooling, and let's see if they have something. I remember busting hurricanes with ocean cooling pumps. All right, so these are some of the things that need to be done to start mitigating climate change. So, yeah, I'm sorry I went on a diatribe about climate change in this video, but the fact is what we've just witnessed with the models doing what they did, and the fact that our Arctic air outbreak has been canceled for now is all due to climate change. What we have witnessed happen in the models over the past 5 to 7 days is highly anomalous, very concerning, and I am very glad that President Biden knows this is an important issue that we need to start getting to the fixing right now. We don't have a minute to waste. So I want to thank you for watching this weather update and putting up with my ranting. Take care.